Hello and welcome to this episode of the Business Spotlight. Today we're joined by Claire from Oliiki. Hi Claire.
Hi, Mark. It's great to see you.
Great to see you too. So for those of you that are just joining us today for the first time, the Business Spotlight is about learning a bit more about business. It's for some of you that are on that entrepreneurship journey or are thinking of getting into business or already in business. And hopefully you'll get some great shares from us today here. And Claire's going to kick things off by letting everybody know who she is, what she does, and how long she's been doing it for. Thank you, Claire.
Well, hi, everybody. I am Clare Stead. I am the creator and founder of the Oliiki App. It's an app for parents from conception, with babies from conception to two. That's the time when the brain is developing faster than at any other time of life. And it's an app designed to support parents to build their baby's brain and build their parenting confidence during that first 1,000 days. And I've been doing it for the last 5 years, amazingly.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Claire. So 5 years, wow. So the app, I mean, my youngest is 6, nearly 7 now, and I have 5 children. So it's, I know, so it won't take us doing it. So that's all sorted now. But so with the app, Claire, if you could just explain for our viewers today, what makes it different to some of the other apps that are out there?
Okay, so the Oliiki app is grounded in science, written by education researchers, and it's based on the research that came out of the Centre on Developing Child, Harvard. That is the brain development that happens during that first period of time. And what I've basically done is I'm a teacher and education researcher, and I worked with another couple of people to build the app, and it's tiny daily activity every single day, specifically designed to help support baby development, but also to help empower parents to understand the power of the tiny play they do every day and how that it builds their baby's brains. And obviously, because it's all about research, the app has had its own randomized control trial done on it to make sure that does actually do what it says on the tin. And I did it with UCL Institute for Education and found that within 4 weeks of parents using the Oliiki app, they were significantly more confident in their parenting skills compared to those that were just using the activities and not using the whole set of content in the app. And what happens is each activity, you get a daily activity that's based on the age and stage of your baby, but then you also get how to do it, why you're doing it, and how that helps future life learning, and then the science behind that and how that maps to the early years curriculum. So it's not just parents using it, but actually nurseries and HR departments that are using it to support kind of anyone who's working with or has parents.
Wow, that is so amazing. That sounds so cool. Because I think the only thing that was ever really around for me, especially when my eldest, who's now 21, was I think the main book that I got told I had to read was What to Expect When You're Expecting. So it was at that sort of level. So this sounds amazing. So what's the journey been like? I mean, just take us back to the beginning and then bring us up to where you are now.
I'm an accidental entrepreneur, and I fell into this journey totally unexpectedly. I'm a teacher who got sad that too many children were arriving and not thriving in school, and so I kind of went on a journey to find out why there was the problem, and stumbled across this brain science, and no one seemed to be taking it seriously, and so it mattered so much that I kind of quit my job and started building the app. I didn't really ever think about the fact that I was building something that then I'd have to get out into the world.
Yeah.
I just was originally building something to solve the problem and had no idea what I was going to do with it once I've got it. Never thought that far. So very accidental entrepreneur. So the journey has been absolutely up, down, in between, around the corners, because there was no plan ever. It was like I never saw beyond let's build.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's quite a common thing, actually. So
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
so you've had lots of roller coasters of emotions
Oh,
along the way.
the emotion's been real, and I think that's one thing that I wish I'd known when I started, that when you start a business, there's not a magic source. No one knows the answer, and there isn't a magic answer.
Yeah.
There's no one the other side of the computer that knows it but not telling you. Because I felt for a long time there was a special magic something out there that you could pluck and you would just get. And I've discovered after this long period of time that's not there. And you are the magic. And it's what you do in the world in relation to what you have created or are delivering. That is transformation and the magic that happens. The other thing is that I have found along the way amazing, wonderful, supportive people who have been a bit, who either are a long way ahead of me or are just a little bit ahead of the journey and are so quick to share and give advice and support. And that, I say that when this works, when it gets big and when it succeeds and when it's out in the hands of all parents and really making the impact that I set out to make, there's going to be one hell of a party. And that party gets bigger every day because every day I meet someone else that's going to come to this, woo, we did it party. Because although at the moment it looks like I'm a company of one, I'm actually not a company of one because there's so many support bodies around that, it's not lonely because I've collected all these amazing support people around.
Yeah, that is so powerful, because I think building that community and that support structure around you is one of the key fundamental basics of getting a business that grows. And also the fact that you've been running for over 5 years, I mean, that's testament to itself, really, because most businesses, or not most, 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. So the fact that you've got through to that stage, so kudos to you. So what does the future hold for you? I mean, what sort of challenges do you think you're going to get going forward?
I feel like I'm on a tipping point, actually, and I feel like it's at the you go up to this point. First of all, you have that whole period where there's the magic person on the other side of the computer who's going to tell you, but they're not telling you. Then you realize that's not a thing, and then you get to the what I've made is rubbish because I made it, therefore it must be rubbish. And then finally you start believing in it. Then you believe in it, and then it's like, oh well, okay, but no one knows about it. Why does no one know about it? Well, because you haven't told anyone. Then you start telling people, and then that bit's, I think, quite hard because there's that period of time where you're telling everybody, it feels like you're shouting loudly and no one's hearing because no one's heard it yet. And then I feel like I'm at the tipping point where that group's heard about it, that group's heard about it, that group's heard about it. And I'm really excited, but I'm also slightly terrified because it all looks like everybody is suddenly woken up to where we are and that it's all going to tip at one point. And if it all tips too quickly, I may fail.
Yeah, I can see that. So, but nicer problems to have, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Fantastic. So, Claire, moving on to yourself as the business owner, I mean, what would you say has been the biggest lesson to date that you've learned in the last 5 years of, running the business?
Believe in yourself.
Wow.
Honestly, the only person that's got in the way all the way through every time is me. Get out of my own way and start doing it.
Yeah.
And if you're scared of something, that's the thing you got to do. Do it.
Yeah, that is so powerful, and it's such a common thing that I hear a lot.
Yeah.
So, no, that's some great advice. Thank you for that. Talking of advice, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to when you was 18 years old, and you've got the knowledge that you've got now, but you're going back to see an 18-year-old Claire, and you've got one piece of advice that you can give to your 18-year-old self. What would it be?
The skills you have and the skills you will gain don't just fit that job you're doing today. If you think wisely and carefully about the skills you've got and you gain, they can fit all sorts of places. So don't get stuck in the boots that you're put in today. Those boots, they were made for walking.
Oh, I love it. That's absolutely brilliant. And it's so, so true as well. I mean, the skills that we learn on a daily, weekly, yearly basis are sort of like those transferable skills that you get. So yeah, no, that's a great piece of advice there. So yeah, I can totally get why you would say that. So Claire, what is it that, really fires you up? What is it that inspires you every day, every week to do what you do?
The power of the transformation that we can provide. If people understand the power of these first 1,000 days and the impact that parents can have on that period of time for their baby's brain development, we can literally transform society. It's huge what tiny, tiny, tiny playful moments will do, because if we get it right, and it's not hard to do it, we just need to understand the impact that we're having in a nappy change. If we use that time, we build bigger, better brains. And when we build bigger, better brains, kids are able to focus, they're able to concentrate, they're able to question, inquire, investigate. And those children are literally our future.
Yeah.
So if the company to employ amazing people, those people, and so therefore supporting parents, supporting to support their babies, literally transforms society.
Wow. That is amazing. And I can tell you're so passionate about this, Claire. So it's been fantastic listening to you today. So just to wrap things up then, I mean, I'm sure people are going to want to find out a hell of a lot more. So what would be the best way for them to sort of speak to you or to find out more? I mean, the website, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Easy to find. Find me on Oliiki.com. Oliikiapp.com, sorry. And Oliiki means something. It means observe closely, listen to what your baby's saying, investigate their interests, initiate connection, initiate conversations, kindle connection, and instill a love of learning. And basically, on any of the socials, you'll find me under Oliiki.
Wow. That's fantastic. Claire, thank you so much for today. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you and to find out more about what you do. I'm sure that that's going to be some real gems of gold today for our listeners and viewers. So it's been an absolute pleasure, Claire. And I'd like to say thank you. And also to all of our viewers today. Yeah, it's been great. Claire, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us on this episode of the Business Spotlight. See you all again soon. Bye for now.